So let's start today's lectures with questions. Okay. 164 Satkunalingam Premnath.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is soil structure in agriculture?
And aggregates. No.
Aggregate.
No. Arrangement of soil particles.
Hmm? Okay, your answer is correct. First, complete your answer. Any other? Zero.
The arrangement of individual soil particles into large clusters.
Okay, good. So, soil structure means arrangements or grouping of soil individual particles, which means sand, clay, fertilizers, organic materials, those things, grouping of soil particles into porous compound, which means that group we can as aggregates or beds, arrangements of aggregates or beds separated by pores or cracks. So what are the four basic soil structure? What are the four basic soil structure?
Clay, black light, prismatic, spherical.
Roidal. Okay, good. And what are the 7 types of soil structure?
Clayty, prismatic, columnar, angular blocky, subangular blocky, granular, and crust.
So what's the difference between angular blocky and subangular blocky?
Angular blocky is fairly flat surfaces with sharp corners, and subangular blocky has round corners.
Okay, very good. And difference between prismatic and columnar?
Prismatic has flat angular tops. Columnar has rounded tops.
Okay, which structure is most suitable for agriculture? Which soil structure is most suitable for agriculture?
Granular structure.
Good. And compare and contrast prismatic and block structure. Compare and contrast prism-like structure and block-like structure.
Vertical dimension is greater than horizontal dimension, and that is prism-like structure. Block-like structure, vertical and horizontal dimensions are equal.
Mm-hmm. So where you can observe each structure.
Prism-like structures, arid and semi-arid regions. Block-like structures in humid region.
Okay, good. So you have to write a complete answer, okay? If he has to write compare and contrast or anything, at least you have to give 2 points for each. Then why soil structure is important for agriculture? Common general question.
Can structure essential for air and water movement in the soil. That is
Mhm.
good. It is essential for growth and functional of root system.
Okay, good.
Soil
So,
compaction depend on the structure.
okay.
Control soil erosion and other culture operations like manually.
Why we have to control the soil erosion? What's the relationship between soil erosion and agriculture?
If soil erosion, the nutrients uh, decrease the in soil
Mhm. Good. Then,
and can't hold plant them
Mhm.
falling down the plants.
Okay, very good. And how bad soil structure cause soil erosion?
Nutrient loss.
In good structured soil, the erosion is low. In bad structured soil, erosion is high. Why?
Because good soil structure is plant growth is well developed.
No, I'm asking about erosion. In good structured soil, the erosion rate is compared to bad structured soil low. Why?
In good structure soils, the soil particles was very aggregate, so can hold very many nutrients in the soil
Hmm?
and can root hold the root system is in.
No, any other answer? Good structured soil means what? First, explain that one. Soil which have good aggregation, or which have enough pore space means good structured soil, no? Am I correct? Any?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the difference between good structured soil and bad structured, poorly structured soil?
The soil with um, enough pore spaces are good structured soil. The
Hmm?
soil with less pore spaces are bad structured soil.
Okay, if soil have enough pore spaces, what are the advantages?
Developing of root system well.
Hmm?
It can circulate air with this force.
Okay,
Water holding capacity is high.
okay, good. What about drainage? In which structured soil the drainage is good?
In good structured soil, the drainage is good.
Okay, due to enough pore space, drainage compared to bad structured soil, here drainage is good. So what will happen after heavy rainfall?
In heavy rainfall, the structure is not good. The soil particles move in the another place.
Hmm? Due to what act? Due to what process? After heavy rainfall in good structured soil, what will happen? Most of the water will enter the groundwater. Okay, because in good structured soil we can observe a good drainage system. So most of the water will enter into the groundwater system. So the surface runoff will not affect the soil. In bad structured soil, what will happen? Due to compaction or less pore space, most of the water will escape from the soil through surface runoff. Due to that process act, the soil itself also removed with water. So it will increase the erosion. Okay. The exact answer for the question is in good structured soil, the drainage is compared to bad structured soil, the drainage is good. So the most after heavy rainfall or after heavy irrigation, the water will enter into the groundwater. It will not affect the soil. Or it will not take the soil away from the original place. In bad structured soil, due to the compaction or poor pore spaces, the soil will take away with the water. Okay. Means in bad structured soil, the surface runoff is higher than infiltration. And the next question, how does soil structure affect the soil fertility? The question is different. The answers are almost same. How does soil structure affect the soil fertility? Essay question. You can give 5 or more points. So first you have to write a definition. What do you mean by soil fertile soil? What do you mean by fertile soil?
It's the ability of the soil to sustain plant growth, nutrients, habitat for plant growth.
If a soil have all basic needed attributes for the plant growth, means fertile soil. What are the basic things needed for a good plant growth?
Essential plant nutrients,
Okay.
favorable chemical and physical properties.
Basically nutrient, water, air. Needed. Okay. So you have to explain your points one by one. What happened for a water movement? Compare your answer, correlate your answer with structure. We already discussed, no? If good structure, what will happen for the water movement? If bad structure, what happened? So first think about water. How does soil structure affect the soil fertility? If soil have good structure, it means it have good enough amount of pores. So the water holding capacity is high, first thing. So plant can take enough amount of water from the soil. So no scarcity for the water. If opposite one, if a soil have bad structure, plant can't take enough amount of water from the soil. So first thing, that one. Then second thing, if poor, poor structure soil means drainage problem. So erosion will occur. Due to erosion, the nutrient leaching also will occur. Okay, so lack for nutrient. And what happens for root penetration? First, you have to write each points and you have to explain one by one how each points will affect by condition of the structure. Kayavarnan,
Yes, madam.
what's your answer?
Root penetration also affecting the soil fertility because the soil has that include more water content affecting the water movement through the soil. So the root penetrations also affecting.
Okay, in poor structured soil, which means compact soil, root penetration is difficult for plant. In good structured soil, root penetration is easy. Simple answer. And next, what will happen for the microorganism?
In good structure, the pore space is high, so the water content and air content is good. So microorganisms can do their micro activities in good structure soil.
Okay, very good. Microorganisms are very much important for the soil fertility, no? Microorganisms are the decomposers, so very much important. If in good structured soil, the pore space is high, so aerobic condition will present, so microbes can easily survive. Not only microbes, macroorganisms also can easily survive because aerobic condition will present in good structured soil. In bad structured soil, obviously the pore space is very much low, so anaerobic conditions or beneficial microorganisms can't survive. So it will ultimately affect the decomposition process and other nutrient cycle. You will study nutrient cycle later. So microorganisms are very much important for decomposition as well as nutrient cycle. And erosion, fourth point we already discussed. Due to erosion, nutrient loss will occur. Likewise, you have to write each points and you have to discuss each one by one. You have to discuss scientifically. Okay. Then who is going to act as a today? Volunteers. I want 11 volunteers. You can tell your registration number. Or else shall I call? Madangi Tavarasa.
Yes.
Okay. So wait. You are responsible for the first slide. Okay. And second one. Sindhuja Balendra.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Third one. Sureka Manoharan. Fourth one. Kaushalya 049.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fifth one. Hashini 024. Hashini.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then sixth one. 116. Vishmi Imal Shah.
Yes, ma'am.
Abdul 161. Xavier 010.
Yes, ma'am.
Kirunshika Jayakumar 037.
Yes, ma'am.
Prapurna,
Yes, ma'am.
the last person, Lasan 167. Lasan Vibuda 2020 AG 167. Zero 035.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Last one.
Okay.
So 126. You can start now.
Two more soil structural conditions usually occur in soils. These are normally called as structureless soil because pets are not noticeable. First, single grain structure. Each soil particle is independent of all others. This condition is typical if very sandy material. Second, massive structure. India soil mass stick together with no definite line of weakness. This condition typical in soil having significant amount of clay.
Okay. So these two are structureless soils. Okay. First one is single grain and second one is massive. Single grain means just imagine a sandy soil. Okay. The water holding capacity is very low. You can observe more macropores, no any structure or no any shapes, no any pits or aggregates you can observe. And second one, massive structure, which means compact nature. Just imagine a clay soil. Okay. These two are examples for structureless soil. Okay. Others are structure, having structure. These two are structureless soil. 144.
We can observe the granular structured soil in the humid region, surface horizon, as well as in arid and semi-arid region also. The granular structure of soil is found in surface horizon. And in humid region, in the subsurface soil, we can observe the angular or subangular structure. And in the semi-arid and the arid region, we can observe prismatic or columnar structured soil.
No need to remember that much. Okay, just for observation or identification. If you observe a granular structure in the surface horizon as well as angular or subangular structure in a subsurface horizon, you can conclude that region as humid region. Same as if you observe granular in surface and prismatic or columnar in subsurface, you can conclude that region as arid or semi-arid region. One zero seven.
Laws of structure, you can classify according to their type of phase. These are spheroidal structure, plated structure, prism-like structure, and block-like structure. In spheroidal structure, diameter range from 1 to 10 millimeter. Platy from 1 to 10 millimeter. Prism-like structure 10 to 100 millimeter. Block-like structure from 5 to 50 millimeter. Normally, surface soil build up small pits and subsoil develop large pits. So, we can observe small pits in surface soil and the large pits in subsurface soil.
So we can classify the structure based on three major types. First one type, second one class, and third one degree of development. Okay, this one is class, which means based on the size of the pits you can classify, and each type of structure have different size range. Okay, spheroidal and platy have same 1 to 10 millimeter size range. Again, you can classify the size range into fine, coarse, medium, fine likewise. And prism have 10 to 100 millimeter size range, and block-like structure have 5 to 50 millimeter size range. Okay. 049. Zero 049.
Yes, ma'am. Now we will see about the differentiation of platy and prism structures. First one is very fine platy. It is less than the 1 millimeter, and very fine prism less than the 10 millimeter. Very fine, platy fine 1 to 2 millimeter. Fine prism 10 to 20 millimeter, and medium platy 2 to 5 millimeter. Medium prism 20 to 50 millimeter. Platy coarse 5 to 10 millimeter, and prism coarse 50 to 100 millimeter. Platy very coarse over than the 10, and prism very coarse over than the 100 millimeter.
Based on type of structure, there are 4 major types and 7 subtypes. Based on class, there are 5 class you can observe: very fine, medium, coarse, very coarse. Okay, remember these 5. And the platy range is 1 to 10, and prism range is 10 to 100. Based on that, they again classified into 5 subgroups. Okay, very fine means less than 1 for platy and less than 10 for prism. So after physical examination of a soil structure, if you observed 2 to 5 millimeter size pits in a soil, what's the type of that structure and what's the class of that structure? After a physical examination of a soil structure, if you observe a pits with the size range of 2 to 5 millimeter, write the class as well as type of that soil.
Petty type and medium class.
Okay, very good. And if you observed 50 to 100 millimeter pet size, the type and the class.
Please like and post.
Hmm? I couldn't hear your voice. Any others? Fifty to 100 millimeter pet size.
Prism type and coarse class.
Okay, good. 024.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay.
So, in grade of a structure, it was evaluated by the strength or degree of development of a structure. So, there are three grades. They are weak, moderate, and strong. In weak, only few distinct beds can be separated, and few unbroken and much broken beds could be separated. And in moderate, beds are visible and should be handled with care. And in strong, pets are visible and pets can be handled with ease without breaking.
Okay. Simple thing. Okay. Grade means based on the degree of development, you can classify the structure. Weak, moderate, strong. By the name itself, you can guess the definition. Okay. 116.
When the structure of soil is described, it is necessary to show the degree of development or grade, size or class, and the type of structure. Example for it is a strongly developed coarse subangular block. The soil structure is most easily observed when the soil is nearly dry or very slight moist.
Okay, so you can easily identify a soil structure if it is found in a dry or very slightly moist soil. You can easily identify the soil structure. Okay, while you are writing the soil structure name, first you have to write the grade, then class, at last type. Let's hear the example. Strongly developed means strongly grade type. First grade, you have to write the grade. Then second one, size, coarse. Yeah. Then third one, last one, subangular type. One 61.
Development of soil structure in field. Nature and origin of parental material has great influence on the type of structure under natural condition. Development of the structure take place due to several reasons. First one, pressure created by the growing plant roots. And second one, action of various burrowing animals. Third one, the climatic condition, especially the process of wetting and drying and freezing and thawing. At last, in addition, the artificial application of soil amendments, organic matter, etc.
Okay, explain it.
Nature and origin of parent material.
Let's do pair share techniques. Okay, and RNN, Yana 161. Going to discuss this slide.
Okay.
Arani, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so both you are going to discuss. You can ask question from him or else he can ask question from you and you have to answer.
Okay, madam.
Pressure creates by growing plant roots. Okay, so you can suggest your points.
Pressure by growing plant roots.
So when plant roots are growing into the soil. They can make cracks in the soil, and they are changing the structure of the field. So by this reason, they are creating. This is the reason for this first point here: the pressure created by growing plant roots. And the next is action of various burrowing animals. Can you explain this?
Okay.
161.
Action of various burrowing animals means that causing a drilling or something from the animals. Due to that steps and movements of the animals that causes some drilling to the soil surface.
Okay, the next is the climatic conditions such as wetting, drying. When the soil is freezing, the soil changes structure to more compacted soil. When it's drying, it can change its structure, it can lose its moisture. So, by this reason, the soil structure can be changed.
In addition, the artificial application of soil amendments, organic matter, etc. In the addition of the artificial application to the soils, such as soil amendment, organic matter, this goes to the development of soil structure, more minerals and nutrients.
Artificial application of soil amendments will increase the soil aggregation.
Yes, ma'am.
Will aggregate the soil particle.
It
Then
goes to
a
the
new
development.
structure will develop. Okay. And the plant root will create cracks as well as it will compact the soil also. If the root size will increase, it will compact the soil, as well as if a root is newly formed, that will create a crack also. Okay? Both action will happen. And burrowing animals, you can give examples also. Rodent activity or earthworm activity, it will create pores, artificial pores. So a structure, new structure will develop. Okay. Then next one, 010.
So the structure development is influenced by
amount. 010. First you read the slides, then Kayavanan will join with you. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Amount and type of clay as well as the exchangeable ions on the clay. Also, water acts as bridge between clay particles. Amount and type of organic matter, since it provides food for soil fungi and bacteria and their secretion of cementing agents, polysaccharides. Presence of iron and aluminum oxides, cementing agents. Binding between organic and inorganic compounds, aluminum oxides, cations, clay. Vegetation produces OM, total organic matter. Roots act as holding soil together and protect soil surface.
Kayavanan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The first point is the amount of type of clay. The clay has micropores. The total micropore is the high. So the porosity of the clay is high. So the clay exchangeable the ions between the clay particles. That water also help as the bridge for the exchangeable ions.
So the next one is the amount and type of organic matter. So its influence, since the organic matter is providing food for soil fungi and bacteria, so by their secretion, such as polysaccharides, they are acting as the cementing agents. So we all know by the cementing agents, they get together all the aggregates, they hold the aggregates together. So by that, they develop the soil structure.
Next point is the presence of iron and aluminum oxide in the beds part in naturally aggregates. So there are some ions and aluminum oxide reaction together. Example, the iron oxide, like the aluminum oxide, reacts with oxygen to make iron oxide and aluminum oxide. So the soil structure is cementing by this agent.
So as my friend says, the same point is coming for the fourth one as well, binding between organic and inorganic compounds such as aluminum oxides and some other cations like calcium ions and clays. So there are some bindings between them. So by that also the structure is developing.
Next is the vegetation. The producers OM roots act as the holding soil together, and the soil has the porosity, so the root penetration level is high. So the roots holding the soil together, and it protect the structure of the soil surface. Excuse me, produce the OM means?
Organic matter, vegetation. After falling down of leaves, it will decompose, no? So it will
Yes, ma'am.
create organic matter. Then 037.
Yes, ma'am. Next.
Improvement of soil structure. If it is a bad structure, you can take some management practices to improve the soil structure. So what are those? You are going to discuss.
Improvement of soil structure. The first one, addition of lime to acid soil, because lime stimulates the growth of microorganisms which are responsible for the improvement of structure. The second one, addition of large doses of partially decomposed organic manures such as farmyard manure, compost, and fluffing of green manures such as sun camp. Third one, mulching. It means covering the surface of soil with organic materials. It keeps the surface soil moist and cool, where microbes multiply rapidly, and it protects the surface from weeding action of raindrop. The first one, addition of lime to acid soil. If we add lime, lime stimulates the growth of microorganisms because which is responsible for the improvement of the structure. The second one, large doses of partially decomposed organic manures such as farmyard manure and composting addition also improve the soil structure.
Sorry, some connection issue.
And third one, mulching. Mulching means covering the surface of soil with organic materials. It also keeps the soil moist and cool. In the place of moist and cool, the microbes can be multiplied rapidly, and it protects the surface from weeding action of raindrop.
It's like a cyclic process, okay, in between microbes and organic matter. Microorganism needs food, okay, food substrate source. If you add partially decomposed organic manure, microbes will get food, and microbes will do a nutrient cycling process and decomposition process. First thing, and same as if you add mulching, means grass cover or any leaf covers, it also give food source for microbes, and microbe will do their works efficiently. And the addition of limes give a suitable condition for the microbial growth. Okay, after microbial growth, what will happen? Again, the same decomposition process will increase and the organic matter of the soil will increase. These organic matter act as a binding agent and it create a good aggregation between soil particles. Ultimately, it will give good soil structure. It's like a cyclic process: decomposition, microorganism, aggregation. And next one, 165.
Yes, ma'am. Planting cover crops, the roots of grasses bind a soil particle to form soil aggregates. If legume grown with grasses, soil structure is further improved. Cover crop is fast growing crops. It help it help soil prevent soil erosion. If legume ground, legumes are nitrogen fixing plants, so it provide nutrition to soil.
Okay, to improve the soil structure, you have to improve the aggregation. So aggregation needs organic matter or any secretion from microbes. So to get secretion from microbes, first you have to give a suitable environmental condition for the microbes as well as food source for the microbes. If you add lime, it will give a good environmental condition or suitable environmental condition for the microbes. And if you provide any mulches or any other leaf things, grass based, any other food sources, microbial growth will increase. Then microbe will secrete enzymes or any other secretions or any exudates. Then these exudates will increase the aggregation of the soil individual particles. Same as microbes will decompose the organic matter, and this organic matter also increase the aggregation of the individual soil particles. So the soil structure will develop. Okay. And last one, 035.
Yes, ma'am. The importance of soil structure. Good soil structure is essential for air and water movement in the soil, which is essential for growth and function of root system. In the good soil structure, there's good spore space. As there's good spore space, it can hold a relative amount of air and water, so it will be helpful for the plant's growth and functioning of root system. Next one, the controls soil erosion, plowing, and other cultural operations like manuring. In good soil structure, it has more spore space. As a result, water can drain and the runoff will be less. So it can control the soil erosions. Next one, the drainage also depend on structure. Poor structure hinders drainage. Here, as I said before, the good structure soil have more space. The drainage will be high. In poor structure, the pore space is less, so it hinders the drainage and the runoff will be high. Next one, the soil compaction depend on structure. As in this picture, you can see in good soils, there are more space, spore space. As a result, the soil's compaction is less. But in poor soil structure, you can see in this picture, there's less amount of, or relatively no pore space. So the compaction is high. Next one, the soil temperature is regulated by the structure. In good soil structure, there are a good spore space, so there are good amount of air and water. So the microbial activities and biological activities the cycles which are needed to take place in soils is very good. So the soil temperature is regulated by the microbes.
Okay, very good. So soil temperature is very much important for plant root growth and microbial growth. Okay, if it is a compact structure, the microbial growth is very much low compared to good soil structure. In good soil structure, the temperature for flow is very good, and the compaction also affect the thing. Okay, so this is the same question I already discussed. How does soil structure affect the soil fertility or else importance of soil structure? Both are same meaning. Okay, and thank you. You can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.